Hello, and welcome to another episode of In Just 1 Minute or So. Today, we're going to talk about how to actually build a habit. And have you ever sworn that you wouldn't check email first thing in the morning and then suddenly realize it's 2 a.m. and your face is glowing in the dark from your phone? Or you promised yourself you'd meditate every day and only to find out that you didn't have those 5 minutes every day in your daily routine? And if this sounds familiar to you, well, you're not alone. Today we are unpacking the real science of building habits, not the internet myths, not the motivational fluff, but what really works. So changing behavior is simple, but it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. A Duke University study found that 45% of our waking behavior is based on habit, and nearly half of what you do each day happens on autopilot. So even if you intend to behave differently, your unconscious mind is usually driving the car. And that's why vague advice like just do it for 25 days or 21 days is nonsense. Someone actually made up that a decade ago and everybody went with it. So let's get serious, everyone, and let's build real habits. And for that matter, we need something better. There are actually 5 components to make a habit stick. So the first component is the reason, making a vow. So you ask yourself, why bother doing something difficult? Well, your reason must be meaningful, right? Research actually shows that visualizing success too much reduces motivation. Instead, connect your habit to serving others. Or if your habit helps someone you care about, it becomes easier anyways to commit. The second component is trigger. This might be the most important step because if you don't know what triggers your old behavior, you'll repeat it before you realize it. And the more specific you are, the better. For instance, not in meetings, but when Jenny asks for my feedback in our Tuesday team meeting is a better phrasing. And triggers usually fall into 5 categories: location, time, emotional state, other people, or the action that comes right before. The third component is a micro habit. Now, make your new behavior so small it takes less than 60 seconds. If it's vague or too big, your brain will find excuses. Micro habits are tiny, but they build momentum. Number 4, deep practice. Great habits are built the same way elite athletes train, with deep practice. So, break actions into small chunks, repeat them in different ways, notice when it goes well, and yes, celebrate the small wins. Even the simple first pumps work. Now, the last component is a plan to recover. You will stumble. Everyone does. What matters isn't perfection, it's resilience. When you miss a day, decide ahead of time how you will get back on track. Good systems assume failure and make recovery easy. Now, here's a simple, powerful formula used in coaching programs. So, when this happens, that is your trigger, instead of your old habit, I will, and your 60-second behavior. For instance, when I feel frustrated in our bi-weekly meeting, instead of saying, have you thought about X thing? Well, silently judging Bob, I will ask Bob, so Bob, what ideas do you have? It's specific, it's tiny, and it builds curiosity instead of advice given. This formula is easy, but not effortless. New habits require courage to try something different and resilience when it feels awkward. So your brain may be full of old groups, old reactions, old patterns, and that's the bad news. But the good news? Well, now that you understand the mechanics of habits, you can redesign them. As Churchill put it, we shape our buildings, and afterwards our buildings shape us. Shape your habits, and they will shape your life. And your leadership, if you're a leader. And it all starts with one tiny habit, one small question, one small choice. Thank you for joining this week, and see you in the next episode.